So good morning, everyone. Today I am being Bard Shaina.
And I am Miss Judy. I'm a lady in waiting.
And today we are going to be having tea parties and talking about the tea party. Unfortunately, our Queen Laura, is feeling a little bit under the weather. So she is going to be joining us today. But we will continue on. And we also have joining us, we have Queen Laura's knight in training, Sir Charles. He's making his way over here. Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
So today we just wanted to come on first and talk to you guys about summer reading. This is kind of our little introduction. We're going to show you how you can sign up for summer reading if you haven't already. We're going to talk about what's in the bag that you may have picked up from the library or hopefully picked up from the library, and talk about some upcoming programs. And then, of course, read books, sing songs, have some fun. So the first thing that I'm going to show you is how to sign up for summer reading. So right now, this is our webpage. This is pascolibraries.org. If you travel here and scroll down, you're going to see the Imagine Your Story logo banner right there. If you click on that, it's going to take you into the Summer Reading 2020 Club. Here, you're going to find all sorts of cool stuff. First off, you're going to find page turners. We've partnered with page turners to bring you extra programming this summer. So they do storytelling, craft projects. You get to meet some authors of kids' books. They will do fun games and such like that. And that can all be accessed from here. If you click here, it will take you to the Page Turners website. But in order to sign up for the Summer Reading Club, you're going to come over here where your grades K through 3. You're going to click right there. It'll tell you you're leaving our site to go to the Wandu Reader site. So just go ahead and click on Continue to Site. And this is where you're going to sign up for grades K through 3 for our summer reading. This is where you're going to log in all of the, for example, this program today, you'll get an hour for if you log it into your Wandu Reader. And you'll also log any reading that you've done. So any amount of time that you read. If you read 5 minutes in the morning, you can count that. If you read your cereal box, count that. We just want you guys out there reading and learning to read and loving to read. So that is how you're the Summer Reading Club. And now we're going to go over to Miss Judy, Lady Judy, to talk to you about what was in the bag that you picked up from us. Lady Judy?
Thank you, Miss Shaina. Okay, some of you picked up the bag from the library, so you have the activities. Of course, we all have crowns. Thank you to Burger King for donating those crowns for us. And you should also have your teacup that you can decorate. There should be stickers in there and maybe some shiny things to add to your teacup. We also have activities related to a tea party. Here is a teacup maze. And we also have this fancy place setting if you want to cut out the pieces and set your table up as you would for a formal tea party. There may have been some colored teacups in there. Here's another page with all the different things you need to have an awesome tea party, including pie and cupcakes. Yum. We have a matching game and some coloring sheets. That is what's in the bag, and like Miss Shaina said, if you didn't get a bag, feel free to stop by the Hugh Emery Library in Dade City, and you can pick up a bag anytime it's convenient for you. If you wanted to come in and get your bag for the tea party as well as next week's activity, you could do that also.
All right, thank you, Lady Judy. So some of the other stuff that is coming up, we're going to have STEAM Saturday, where we're going to have a program that you can do that promotes STEAM learning. We're also going to have Maker Monday. We're going to have an extra bag that you can set out with all sorts of different stuff in it. And it's going to be a mystery what you're going to make. We're going to give you a prompt, make it, and make whatever you want, however you think it fits that. And take a picture, show us on Facebook, show us at the next K through 3 meeting, and you'll actually get an hour for doing that craft as well. And then next week's program, we're going to be doing Go Big or Go Gnome, where you learn how to make a little toilet paper gnome. So we look forward to seeing you there. Any questions that you might have, you can use the chat window, which you can find down below. We've got Sir Charles monitoring that so he can relay your questions to you. Or there's should also be a button down at the bottom of your screen. If you wiggle your mouse, should come up and it says raise your hand. If you do that, we should also be able to see, and we can get your questions when you ask them that way as well. Okay? All right. So of course, coming to a library program, we always want to read to you. So today we are going to start by reading a book called Mind Your Man, B.B. Wolf, written by Judy Sierra and illustrated by Jodo Siebold. One morning, B.B. Wolf huffed and puffed up the hill to his mailbox. Ooh. Bills, bills, he growled. And something else. Ooh, what was this mysterious envelope? You're invited. Please come to the library Tuesday at 3. We're having our annual storybook tea party. Your special friend, Miss Wonderly. Should I go? B. Wolf asked his best friend. I don't think I like tea. You don't go for the tea, replied Crocodile. You go to a tea for the cookies. Cookies, murmured B.B. Wolf longingly. You'll have to behave yourself, the crocodile warned. B.B. Wolf chewed on the end of his tail nervously. His friend consulted an etiquette book. Sip your tea, don't slurp, the crocodile read. If you burp, say excuse me. B.B. Wolf made up a song to help himself remember. Sip your tea and never slurp, say excuse me if you burp. On Tuesday afternoon, B.B. Wolf put on his best jacket. How do I look, he asked. Oh, dashing, declared the croc. Now smile, have a good time, and don't bite anyone. B.B. Wolf loped along the sidewalk, twirling his cane and singing. Sip your tea and never slurp, say excuse me if you burp, smile and have a lot of fun, but don't go biting anyone. B.B. Wolf took a deep breath and opened the library door. Everyone turned to look at him. He smiled nervously. What a big smile you have, exclaimed a girl in a red cape. The better to greet you with, my dear, B.B. Wolf replied. B.B. Wolf was beginning to have fun. How do you do, Mr. Wolf? Said a tall woman. I am Miss Wonderly, the librarian. Would you like some tea? Oh, yes, please, said B.B. Wolf, looking around for those cookies. Miss Wonderly poured a cup of tea. Carefully, B.B. Wolf lifted the cup to his lips. Did he slurp? Oh, no. He sipped slowly and looking around for those cookies. After his third cup of tea, B.B. Wolf's tummy felt funny and made a noise. Gurgle, gurgle, gurgle. Oh, bad luck. He'd forgotten what to say if he burped. B.B. Wolf bent over the library computer. ETIQUEQUETTE, he typed, etiquette. Then hurried to the right shelf. He grabbed the book and pawed through the pages, looking for those magic words. Excuse me. Brrr. Books bounced, windows rattled, walls shook. Run as fast as you can, screamed the gingerbread boy. Oh, run right back here, called Miss Wonderly. B.B. Wolf, giggled the 3 little pigs. You almost blew down the library. Oh, what good manners you have, exclaimed Miss Wonderly. Most people don't say excuse till after they burp. B.B. Wolf smiled from ear to ear. Let the good times roll, he crooned. He strolled around the library and talked to everyone. Looking good, gingerbread boy, B.B. Wolf slapped the little guy on the back. Did anyone ever tell you that you smell delicious, just like a cookie? Cookie, Wonderly. He held out a tray of tiny gingerbread people. Oh, dear me, no, gasped B.B. Wolf. I could never bite a cute little gingerbread boy. Oh, Mr. Wolf, exclaimed Miss Wonderly. You are storybooks just don't do you justice. At 5 o'clock, paper bag into B.B. Wolf's paws. Enjoy these later, she said, and thank you for coming to the library. The children love reading about you. Oh, you're welcome, said B.B. Wolf. I'll drop by one day and tell you how these stories really happened. Happy old wolf loped home, munching on cookies as he sang. Even in a house of bricks, big bag wolves can learn new tricks. Sip your tea and never slurp. Say excuse me if you burp. Smile and have a lot of fun, but don't go biting anyone. The end. All right. Good listening. What was your favorite part, Miss Judy?
I liked it when he burped and everything shook and rumbled.
It was quite funny, wasn't it? All right. So, of course, we cannot have a tea party without us singing I'm a Little Teapot.
All right, here we go.
I'm a
Little
little
teapot,
teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Tip me over and pour me out.
All right, once more.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout.
Short out.
Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Tip me over and pour me out.
All right, good
Yay.
singing.
Okay, I'm going to read a story called Angelina Ballerina and the Tea Party. It's by Catherine Hollibird and Helen Craig, and it is published by Simon & Schuster. There it is. Okay. On a sunny day in Chipping Cheddar, Angelina was planning a tea party. She invited all her friends. She chose fancy teacups and dishes. Her friend Alice came by to help, and they decorated the table together. I would like to make a fruit tart for Miss Lily, Angelina said. Can I have a taste? Alice giggled. Then it was time to get dressed. Angelina and Alice had fun choosing dresses and hair ribbons. Don't they look fancy? Soon, the guests started to arrive. Hello, Henry, Angelina said. Have a seat. There were games, music, and treats. Everyone was having a wonderful time. Then Miss Lily arrived. What a lovely tea party, she said. I have a surprise for you, Angelina said. She ran to the kitchen to get the tart. She was in such a hurry that she tripped and the tart fell on the floor. Oh no, Angelina cried. Now she had nothing to give Miss Lily. Then Angelina had an idea. She could put on a special dance for Miss Lily. I dropped the tart I made for you, Angelina said sadly. Then she began to dance. She jumped and twirled toward Miss Lily. As she twirled, Angelina picked up the teapot. Then she poured tea for Miss Lily. Wow, Henry said. Angelina bowed and everyone clapped. Thank you, said Miss Lily. I loved your dance. I have a surprise too, said Mrs. Mouseling. Cookies! This is the best tea party ever, Angelina cheered. And that is the end. I hope you enjoyed that story about the tea party with our friend Angelina Ballerina.
All right, so our next book that we're going to read is going to be called Sheep Out to Eat, and it is quite a funny book.
You guys are going to love it.
All right, so Sheep Out to Eat by Nancy Shaw and illustrated by Margot Apple. 5 sheep stop at a small tea shop. Well, the tea shop's called Little Tiddlywink Tea Shop. They ask for a seat and a bite to eat. Sheep get menus. Sheep want feed. They point to words that they can't read. Sheep get soup, sheep scoop, sheep slurp, and sheep burp. Oh, they're not supposed to do that, right? We learned about that with the BB Wolf Mind Your Manners. Waiters bring them spinach custard. Sheep add sugar, salt, and mustard. Sheep take a few bites. Sheep lose their appetites. I think I would too. Waiters bring them tea and cake, but sheep add pepper by mistake. Sheep chomp, sheep sneeze. Phew! Sheep jump and bump their knees. Table tips, teacups smash, tea drips, and dishes crash. Oh my goodness. Dishes break, waiters stare. Tea and cake are everywhere. Waiters mop all the slop, but they ask the sheep to leave the shop. Sheep pout, sheep walk out. Suddenly they look about. Sheep crunch and sheep munch. The lawn is what they want for lunch. They smack their lips and leave some tips. They'll stop again on other trips. And the end. All right, so that is a quick book, but I think quite a funny book because they just don't know what to do with the food that they're trying to eat. So our queen has taught both of us how to properly make tea, as she is our queen. So we're going to show you how she taught us how to make tea. So of course she has her, we're borrowing her fine
China today, so we must be very careful.
china today. Careful. But we have her teacup and her saucer. And now the saucer for the teacup is very handy for a couple of different reasons. One, if anything spills or drips off the side of the cup, the saucer catches it, and you can also put little cakes on it as well if you need to eat something with your tea. So how she says, oh, and we have our spoon as well. So how she says that she does it is she has her tea that's all, we have our tea that's all nice and brewed, and brewed and hot, and then we have our milk. Milk goes in first. Always milk goes in first, she said, and then we add the tea to that so that we have a nice cup of tea. And then she said we stir it. We're going to stir it together, the milk and that tea. And then this is another good thing for the saucer. When you can lay your spoon on the side of that. And then if you want sugar, oh Lauren, you have a lot of teacups, that's great. And then if you want sugar, she likes using sugar cubes, but I don't have any sugar cubes today. But you can use just regular sugar, and you can add sugar into it as well. All right. So that is how our queen takes her tea, and we had to learn that so that we could help make her a cup of tea if she ever needed it. And as well, in your bag, you have a teacup and some stickers that you can decorate your own teacup. And you can decorate it while Miss Judy is reading our final book of today, Lady Judy.
Okay, guys. I wanted to tell you something else about tea, a different way to make tea. You can actually make sun tea. Did anybody know that? If you get a clear glass and you put your tea bag in there and you put the glass, cover it with something so you don't get any uninvited guests like bugs. And you could use something like a mason jar because that's clear and it has a lid. And you put it in a sunny spot. After a few hours, the sun will actually make the water hot enough to brew your tea. So that's a cool way that you can make tea without worried about being boiling water or getting injured in any way. So you can just let the sun heat the water to make your tea.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes.
See, I learned something today.
Okay, this story is called Night Out. It is by Daniel Miyares, and he did the writing and the illustrations. The publisher is Swartz Books. So there he is, all alone. He's not really alone though, because there's other boys, but they're sleeping. And then he notices something, an invitation. It's right by his turtle tank. Wonder what that is. The invitation says, The honor of your presence is requested. So he has to think about this. It is the middle of the night. So he makes a decision. And he climbs out the window, and I see his bicycle there. A journey begins. Wonder where he's going to go in the middle of the night on his bicycle. So we can see him now riding through the trees, and he has a lantern with him. That was a good idea. And then we see he gets off his bicycle, and it looks like he's going to go over that bridge. That looks a little bit scary, but I guess he's brave. And when he looks across, he sees a friend. So he hops on the turtle's shell, and the turtle takes him for a journey. And then he hears someone saying, "Come in, come in." And it looks like they're going inside a cave. And all the animals say, "You're just in time." And they give him a nice chair to sit on. I wonder what they're going to do. Aha! For tea! Imagine all those animals having a tea party too. And a song. Look at that. They're having a nice dance. A night out ends, and a new day begins. And there's the little boy climbing back inside his window. And there's his little pet turtle there getting back in his tank. And now he has a story to share. And that is the end. Do you think that really happened? Do you think he really went for a ride on a giant turtle and went to a tea party in a cave with a bunch of animals? Or do you think maybe it was just his imagination? I wonder. You know, when I was little, I used to like to set up my stuffed animals at a little table and pretend we were having a tea party together. That's something fun you can do if you don't have someone nearby to have a tea party with. You can just have a tea party with your stuffed animals.
Miss Judy and I decorated some of our teacups. I made mine look out of this world. Kind of hard to see, but it's got all sorts of stars and suns and stuff. This is my teacup.
Mine has little animal stickers on it. Oh, and this is something we forgot to mention. It's at a fancy tea party. You're supposed to hold your pinky finger up while you sip your tea.
You're right. I didn't talk about that.
I forgot about that.
I
think in the one of the books, I think it was B.B. Wolf. He had his pinky in the air.
His pinky up in the air when he drank. There we go. Yeah.
Awesome. It's so nice to see you. I can't wait till we can see you for real in person again. So don't forget to join us every week, guys. We have lots of fun activities planned. And if for some reason you can't come to the Zoom meeting, we're going to have we're recording, so you'll be able to see it on Facebook or YouTube. And you'll still be able to hear the stories and do the activities. But we love seeing you, and we hope to see you every week.
Thank you for coming. We hope to see you next Thursday at 11 a.m. for our Go Big or Go Gnome. Bye.
Bye, guys.